Do, 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 do. Oh. Just hanging out right now, waiting for people to come in. Hey, London. Hey, Angel Like. Play my intro right now.
This is the remix.
Frankly, it was due to
London, Angel Like, Tanya. How's everybody doing today? I'm glad you like that. Chitty Greg made it for me. Yeah, I know. I thought it was hilarious. and very fitting. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start. We're going to start out with Tyra, Jailbird, more. Man, Tyra, I've never seen somebody force quit as much as you have. But even on that, those car videos, man, they're getting old. They really are. And you want to brag about something that you did would 15 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it was, and you put in a shit sound system to begin with. You can't understand shit. At least not on your video, you can't. But even at that, Tyra, how's your charges going? How's the new lawyers working out for you? You don't want to talk about it. Did they finally tell you to keep your mouth shut, not talk about it? But anyway, you're really good at pointing out everybody else's shit, but you can't point out your own shit. You want to talk about John and Armando, people that first. He didn't care who you was. He knew who you was. But John never doxed you. You doxed everything on him first. And then you want to go around and say that you don't follow anybody, but know everything what everybody says. Again, we all know that's bullshit. And then you talked about some other stuff the other day, and I was going to take notes, and I got caught up in some shit and wasn't able to do that like I should have. And then you got xera. He must have finally figured out that doing anything to Tuck and D wasn't working out. And they came back and they still do what Tuck and D do. But again, xera, you only want to talk about women shit. And that's always problematic, and especially when people want to bring up your past about things, and all you want to do is always deflect from it. And then you want to go hit up on other people's panels, and you want to go in different sectors, which there's nothing wrong with going into different people's sectors, except for most people know who you are and they don't like you. And then you want to go around and you want to threaten everybody. See, you went over into the gay community, and I've talked about this before, and stuck your nose in there snooping on them. They didn't go look for you. And then, hey, Cherokee girl. And then you went after Jay Wilson because the only reason why you go over there is because you were clout chasing, because they have bigger numbers than you do. And again, you're talking about Phi Babe again, or actually still, after you had that big fallout with her, you came back to get back on her nipple again. And then you want to talk about being a real man and then threatening everybody. Real men don't threaten anybody. Real men figure out a solution. That's what real men do. And then I seen where you said you created your own lane. Your own lane in what? Because you sure in the fuck never did it in trucking. You were nothing but another monkey behind the wheel, so to speak, because when you drive truck, that's about all you are, is somebody behind the wheel of a truck. And hey, Bobby, Crystal, Meth, Dookie, and then you never ever seem to ever win, but yes, you got 90% of old women in your chat, but want to dox everybody when they leave. And I still don't get why they even want to even talk to you behind the scenes, just because of your past history of doing that shit. See, a real man don't do that. Even if he gets attacked, he just walks away and never talks about it. That's what real men do. I've fell out with people behind the scenes, and you've never heard me say one word about them. Oh, a couple of them have said stuff about me, but there's not one of them that's ever doxed me or talked about me in a bad light. And then we move on to Buddy Lee's show, and woo, I'm not even going to call you a lady because you're going around taking and trying to defame two ladies that, well, yeah, I like them. Lady Law and Skokohanas. And I've never seen either one of them ever lie on anybody. But you are. No, Crystal, Tyra's not in jail yet. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link case somebody wants to come up. And if there's something that they want to talk about, they can. And like I said, it's kind of an open discussion today. And we can talk about anything. Oh, and Roy, you still a bitch, and you want to talk about nobody having a life while you're going around and chasing everybody. And what gets me is you're also the one that goes around using other people's avatar, especially mine. You know, I ain't never forgot that shit, Roy boy. You know, and like Greg said, you really should go wash your face. Then all you want to do is go on your own platform when you had one before you got flagged down, and talk shit. And you even come here last week on my last stream and want to question me about why am I talking about things? Because I have a platform, I have a mic, and I can, Roy. Just like Greg can do what he does, the extra pooty can do what he does, just like you were doing your bullshit. That's the idea. We're all content. We're all content creators. Oh, and I see too where our favorite girl, Rashida, is trying to do another show in Atlanta, and she's needing help to fund it, which, you know, it's been what, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years since she did her last show. And it's strange. Every time she does a show, she's got to have help to do them. Of course, she needs help with attorneys and shit. And threatening to sue everybody on top of everything. About talking about what she talks about, which is still nothing new. And she's talking about the same bullshit she was 3 years ago, really. She ain't never changed from it. She never varies it, but wants to be the head of it and the reason why everybody talks about it. But if you talk about it, she threatens to sue you. None of that stuff ever made any sense to me, anyway. or to anybody else. Hey, Dr. Computer Shop. Hey, G5. Um, so, and I also find it strange, Tyra, too, that you want to say that everybody chases off of you when you're the least person that anybody want to clout chase off of. No problem, Dr. Computer Shop. Um, and then want to get upset and throw a rage when you talk about Armando uh, putting his videos on private when you said that he would. Now, I'd venture to guess that Armando did that just to piss you off, which it did. And I bet you he's sitting over there laughing his ass off. And you wanting to talk about him going to his daughter's graduation when you got done with Kenny's funeral, you went live and talked about it. So, and you're having a problem with it? That is kind of strange. Let's see, what else is going on in the sector? Um, oh, Tree Mutt and Miss Underwear falling out again. That was another funny thing. You know, each one of them wanting to show receipts on the other one. Oh, absolutely, Dr. Computer Shop. He did. He didn't care about Kenny enough to take and start wearing Kenny's clothes. Hey, classic. And even growing them tails and stuff. Wanting to be just like him. I wonder how Donna really feels about that, or if she even thinks about it. Yeah, the braids and dreads, yeah. Um, I wonder if she just grabs a hold of him and pulls on him now, tries to use them as reins on him. Is that what you do, Donna? Grab a hold of the dreads and use them as reins while you're riding him like a horse? Most likely classic. That's probably the reason why she stays up in the room with her mom. Her mom's probably more entertaining than he is. Oh, I am too. Armando showing up. Oh, that would just absolutely drive him insane. Oh, and Tyra, you're not even real men because you got to call in people to come and help you, like always. Just like when John and Princess X was there. Uh, you had to take it and call in backup. Oh, I'm afraid. They're both here. There's two of them. They're here to get. They're here. They have a gun. Neither one of them had a gun. You knew that. You just want to take it and paint that narrative. That way, you don't have to take it and say, "Oh, I didn't have my guns." Well, sitting back and saying, "Oh, I do have guns that are available to me." Guns that you're not supposed to be around, Tyra? Hey, Purple. Find it all very strange. Yeah, absolutely classic on that one. You have time to come up, classic? There's Here's a link if you have time. Oh, let me plug in my earballs. Okay, you there?
I'm good.
Yep, you good.
All right, what up, big home?
Hey, oh, just another fun-filled day in the neighborhood.
I didn't catch what he said earlier. Well, Mondo said he was gonna he said he was gonna pull up on Tyra and beat him. Angelica said that's what he said, but what did he really say?
Yeah, that's what I heard too, or heard about too. I didn't hear him, but that's what he'd been talking about doing was going to Indianapolis.
To me, it's a waste of time. I don't care if you stay across the street from him. It's a waste of time if you ain't gonna go up to him and like beat him up. Like you
Or
gotta be
at least see him face to face.
nah, after what he did to something like James, you know Tyra better than I do. Like the shit that he does, like, nah, if I'm going out of my way to go and see this motherfucker, like, I gotta put hands on him. Like I gotta put ain't nothing else, man. I gotta put hands on him. I'm definitely not gonna tell y'all about it if I don't put hands on him. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna go and watch him and I just walk around him and stuff like that just to be like, oh yeah, I did that. No, I gotta fuck him up. Like,
Right. Well, the funny thing about that is he's always said, show up in my city and go live and just stay live and I'll find you or I'll come to you because I know my city so well.
yeah.
Well, every time somebody does that, except for with the exception of Tommy, that's the only person that he's ever done that to.
Well, I don't think, especially nowadays, I don't think that's a good idea for anybody to do because in Armando case, like he kind of got an idea you coming and he watches people. So this time,
Right.
he gonna have somebody watching. You know what I mean? He gonna have somebody sitting there like, oh, this dude coming off YouTube trying to bother me and all this other stuff. Yeah, like so. I mean, it's just certain ways you got to do. If you're gonna do it, I'm not gonna sit there and tell him online I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna pop up in that motherfucking list. What's up? Like,
Right. Oh, and I forgot about Roy Boy going there. But the only thing is that, Roy would have been justified in anything really, and I hate sticking up for him, and I keep saying that, but it's the fact. Roy would have been justified in anything that he had done to Tyra, because Tyra went to Roy and not to Tyra's house.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right about that. It wasn't like he went to his shit or whatever and started fucking with him. He went and seen him somewhere else.
Right. And so, as much as he going, well, he was wanted by the cops. Well, actually, he wasn't because he had already served his time and went to jail for whatever it was.
Even if he was wanted by the cops, he in Indianapolis, they ain't doing shit to him. Like he was.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, they ain't doing shit to him then. Like they go let him out the next day. Like,
well, they probably wouldn't even take him to jail, to be honest with you.
See?
I mean, look at everything that everybody else has done in that city, and the cops really haven't done anything other than be like a meter maid and just write out tickets.
Well, I don't think, this is my personal opinion from what I've seen over the years. Just from the Indianapolis that I know that I've seen on social media, I don't think they're really that dangerous, like fucked up. I just think none of the people there give a fuck no more. Like, you know what I mean? You have one side of the class that like actually give a damn. That's the Indy 500 people. No pun intended. Man, then
I think you're right. Yeah, and I think that's where they make a lot of their money is during that time.
Mm-hmm. And then you just got the other class of people who just do what the fuck they do, and nobody don't give a fuck. Kind of like a mini Detroit. Like they just don't give a fuck. Like the cops don't give a damn. They know these motherfuckers are savages. Like,
well, I mean, it's especially where Tyra lives, is a economical depressed area.
Is he supposed to go to court soon? Did he go already?
May 31st.
Oh, okay, man. All right.
Yeah. And really, that ain't going to mount to a hill of shit that day because he's got the new attorneys. All they're going to, it's just going to be and like D. Rizzo said, it's pretty much going to be phone calls. There ain't going to be anybody really even in court.
Yeah.
It's just a scheduling deal, and then probably my guess is it's going to be in June sometime for the next actual court hearing.
And this shit been going on for almost a year? It's been going on about 7 to 8 months now, right?
Oh, God, I think you're right.
Yeah, come on, bro. He could have been got this shit up.
I forgot about it. Well, no, it would be in, what was it, September 1st or was it August 1st?
It was before 2023.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
yeah,
when it happened, let me go back.
We damn near almost in June now, James.
Right.
We halfway through the year. He fucked that up. He fucked that.
Yeah.
He better pray that wasn't in September. That's like 9 months though. Like for real. Like I'm telling you, this shit been going on for like 7 to 8 months. Like,
well, it was actually it was filed on 8/22.
Whoa. He finna catch a whole year off this bullshit.
Well, and really, in the grand scheme of things, it's actually typical for this stuff to be dragged out that long.
Yeah.
Hey, Lonnie Love.
We need Jeff here for that. What Jeff at? Jeff knows stuff. Jeff know like almost everything. Jeff Hemming, shout out to my Jeff know like all that inside shit. Be like, damn, Jeff know everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like fuck, for real, like didn't he get a plea deal at first? Like he had a plea deal first, right? Like he could have just like, okay, it was some bullshit. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Like
he has. I mean, and he pretty much laughed at it and typical Tyra fashion, he goes, I don't take plea deals.
Yeah, see, that's he didn't want to. The reason he did that because he didn't want to let people know that they won. Like he didn't want to show like whoever did that to him was winning. We all got an idea who could have did it, but we ain't gonna say nothing. But still, like he didn't want to let that person know. Okay, you won. Like that was some bullshit. I'd have been like, hey man, I was talking shit. I was mad. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Let me go ahead and go to court and deal with this shit. It's over. He's lost for less. He's literally lost for less.
Right. And I really think that he's going to lose on this one. So, hey, Jeff, Michelle.
Oh, Jeff and this bitch. There you go. My boy Jeff.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeff, we need you on the panel. You know about all the. Jeff know about everything, so still. But
yeah.
We'll talk about Tyra legal situation and stuff. And I was like, yo, we need my nigga Jeff here. Jeff, he know about all that shit. So.
Yeah. That's if you want to come up, Jeff.
Yo, I'll get some Chick-fil-A. James, you got Chick-fil-A where you at?
Oh, hell no. My town ain't big enough to do that shit.
Never mind. My bad. Right. Y'all got Popeyes, right?
Nope. We ain't big enough for that one either.
Well, damn.
Hey, we just got McDonald's the other day. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just got McDonald's?
No, I'm joking about that, but.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't really live in that big of a town.
Yeah.
I think, we were at 45,000 for a long time in the city. And the only reason why it took and grew any is because they uh, incorporated an outskirt of it. Here comes Jeff.
Can you guys hear me?
My boy.
Yeah.
What up, homie?
Hey, what's up? No, I don't know anything about law, so I couldn't help you there.
Oh no, you be knowing everything, so I'll be like,
I don't know if you know everything. I'm knowledgeable, but I don't know everything.
I know you knowledgeable. I was like, well, Jeff can help us out on this. I just said that randomly. I was like, Jeff was here. Jeff can figure that shit out. Jeff know everything.
Today was the first time I heard Tyra in a long. Like I haven't listened to him in a while. It's been probably about a few months.
Yeah.
I come back and he's screaming at the top of his lungs about Armando. Like I came in, I think at the tail end of that live. I was like, holy shit.
You guys hold it down for a second.
Yeah, no problem,
sure.
man. You got you. No, he was mad at that man because I guess his graduation, he was supposed to go to his kid's graduation. And he was like, you a bitch and all this shit. You're supposed to be spending time with your kids at the graduation. And you sitting here talking about me and another man and stuff. I'm like, Tyra, you do this shit all the time. Like,
yeah, just like when his son died and then he went live immediately.
Yep. Somebody said about another situation he had with his grandchildren and stuff like that.
When his grandchildren had cancer and he was trying to raise a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah, and he was pissed off or whatever, talking shit about that man. I'm like, man, this is a graduation first thing in the morning. Like, I ain't trying to be in there until they walking. Like,
Tyra is a walking contradiction, man. He says things and believes that he's in the right, but doesn't realize that he has done the same thing.
But I want to
eventually he'll do the same thing.
What I want to know is, does Armando know about the other pull-ups that have occurred with Tyra? Like, does he really know? Like,
I'm sure he does. I'm very aware that he knows that Tommy showed up at his house. I'm sure he knows that Jim showed up at his house. Yeah. He obviously already knows about the John pull-up, so yeah. And there was a few others. Gip even showed up.
Yeah, he did. And that was one of the things I was pointing out is, he always tells everybody, just go live in my city and I'll come to you.
Yep.
But he's only did that to one person. Well, actually two. But one of them don't really count. And that was Tommy.
Well, it took him a lot of courage because remember, Tommy showed up a couple of times before that pull-up. Right. Remember, Tommy showed up, I want to say maybe two other times. And then the third time was the charm. But he was so drunk. I remember that like it was yesterday because I was watching Tommy's live and Tyra's at the same time. And Tyra was drunk. All the dash lights on that Impala was on. He flew up, got to the circle, jumped out the car, and then you see, it was just a sight to see, man. To see both of them running up and then nothing happening.
Jeff, my thing is this though: the next pull up, I don't give a fuck who it is. It could be Armando, it could be anybody. But the next pull up on Tyra, God forbid somebody loses their life, somebody got to fight. Like.
It's not going to happen. Tyra doesn't have
exactly.
Tyra doesn't have the courage. Most of the people on here, they don't want to. I mean, you're implicating yourself, in legal matters. As far as you're on live stream and other people know that you decided to go to this man's city, or even with him, you invited so many people. They already know he's inviting people to his house. That's what I'm saying.
That's the whole point I was saying. I was telling James them earlier. I'm burnt out with the whole pull it up, especially on him. Anybody else, I really don't care about it. I'll stick around for it. But when it comes to him, like, if nobody ain't finna fight him or beat his ass or something like that, or I don't care if Tyra even wins. Like,
hey, Clemmy.
I don't care no more. Like, who gives a fuck? Because it doesn't happen.
What's up, Clementine?
Like, it's a waste of time. If you're going to waste all your money or whatever just to go and see him and just have a verbal confrontation with this nigga, I don't give a fuck. I done seen enough.
I don't see the point in fighting the homeless, but, I mean, hey.
Yeah.
To each their
Well,
own.
the one thing about it, ever since that his inside of his house got put out, where everybody got to see it, he quit bragging about uh, how good his house is and everything.
He lied about that. All that money he spent in that house. He didn't spend that money in that damn house. I seen the way that shit looked. He lied.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is that, you know,
he fixed the bathroom and maybe did some shit in the kitchen or made that table, but he fucking put no money in that fucking house. Like, I ain't a home builder or none of that shit, but I got homeboys who do that. He ain't put no fucking money in that house. Like,
no.
fuck?
And he probably got all that stuff secondhand.
Let me tell you something. The only thing he did to that house was put the concrete and the in the backyard, you know, the walkway on top of that raggedy back porch, and did the downstairs and put that island in. I remember he did the island.
Yeah.
And he was bragging about the goddamn island.
Right.
That and then put that leather ceiling fan up, which is kind of stupid. I've never heard of a leather ceiling fan.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how that.
Yeah, I mean, he wanting to brag about that leather ceiling fan. Other, you know, they're a little bit more expensive. They're nothing special. So what?
Oh, and the so-called $5,000 front door, which no, there's no way. Maybe if it was a double door, I can believe it, but not a single door being $5,000. Yeah, well, I don't care what wood it's made out of. There's no way.
Right.
If you got a $5,000 door on that raggedy ass house, you're doing something wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, I agree.
You're doing something wrong, bro.
He ain't got $5,000 wrapped up in that whole fucking house.
Nope.
I believe it's $5,000 all in total. I mean, the concrete, like I said, all the wood that he has used to build that fence. Because, you know, a wooden fence to put it up, well, if you had somebody contracted to do it, it's about $5,000. But that most of it is labor. So, what, $1,000 in just the wood in the island.
But he got all that wood before COVID and stuff. He's had that fence for a long time.
That's true. Well, I'm just saying, just the total cost of what he spent on that house. I believe it's about around $5,000 to maybe $7,000 to $8,000. No more than that.
I'd agree.
Yeah, right. Under $10,000 anyway.
Yep.
Hey,
yeah, definitely under 10. Craig Madden.
And the fucking upstairs is fucked. Upstairs is completely fucked. Like, he didn't spend no money in that crib. The whole upstairs is fucked. I seen that shit. Like, that shit.
Well, at least he did the right way, because it would be stupid for him to, you know, remodel the upstairs. If downstairs the foundation is a piece of shit, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, but
he still.
He needs to spend some money on rewiring that fucking house.
Yeah.
And putting in new breaker boxes and new wiring and get rid of that old ball bird wire that's in
Jeff,
there.
my nigga, they was missing steps. You seen that shit? They was missing steps.
Yeah. If I mean, whoever gets that house after him, I would just, me personally, I would demolish it. I would just have it torn all, or just take it all the way down to down to the frame, and rebuild from the inside out.
Shit, I don't buy a house on that block to save my life. I buy the whole block if I had the money to do it. I ain't buying no house.
Well, that's the thing. Years ago, and James probably remembers, that block was empty. There was maybe 2 or 3 houses on that entire block, maybe 4. Because I know a lot of the houses across the street didn't exist until they started renovating. I think that was around the time when Jim popped up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that block was empty. Like, it was I think a lot of the houses on that block were abandoned. And then everybody just decided to invest in that dirt hole of a city. And there you go. I mean, Tyra is the reason why the property values in that neighborhood can't go up.
Right.
He'll tell you otherwise, but I've been watching the value, the properties around him, and he's the reason why they refuse, minus the crime. He's the reason why, because when you see the aerial shots it's a dilapidated mess in his name, in his
and it looks that
little
way.
corner. It's
Right.
crazy. And everybody else's lawn is cut. Everybody else's house is painted. It looks nice and neat. But his
Well, they got
house
better
is.
yards.
Yep.
And
man,
they don't have all them dogs tearing shit up.
Yep.
Yo, Jeff, did you see earlier today or whatever when the neighbor had dropped his package off? Not his neighbor, but the person dropped his package off at the neighbor house, and he got pissed off. He was like, "What?"
No, I didn't see that.
Dude,
No, I didn't see that.
Why the fuck they dropping my shit off at the neighbor house? Like, it's a whole nother. It's my address on here. You dropping it off at the neighbor house.
Well, that's the thing. He's got that goddamn fence. Nobody could get in. He's got it locked. I mean, I don't know what he expects the mailman or or any of the package carriers to do. I would just throw it over the fence and call it a day.
Bruh, that's what I said. I was like,
or if it's a signed package, I'm taking that boy right back to the office.
Yeah.
If he gets
Make
mad,
him go down there.
The people probably told him, like, yo, he threatened motherfuckers or whatever. Like, not even like the managers or nothing, like the regular co-workers. Be like, yo, I had to drop a package off to 911 Rural Street, and this nigga crazy. Like, drop that shit off at the neighbor place. Like, that's why that dude did that shit. He was like, yeah, I ain't dropping that shit off. This motherfucker fucked up.
Missed that. I missed that shit.
Yeah. He got mad as hell. He was cursing and all kind of shit. He was, what the fuck? He dropped it off at my neighbor house. What the fuck? Drop it off. He said he was going to report him. It's like, he recorded the time and everything. I was like, nigga, you threaten to shoot niggas all the time. Like, that's why they did it. Like,
so, as far as his case, how's that going? Because I'm been out of the loop. So how's that been going?
He hasn't talked about anything since he's gotten these new attorneys.
Oh, perfect. He's finally fucking listening.
Well, if he wants to cost him another set of lawyers, he can keep talking about them.
He should have just
because he actually got real lawyers this time.
Oh Lord. So okay, now that he has lawyers, I'm imagining they're probably going through discovery now, and man,
I'd be willing to bet that they don't file discovery papers or motions to talk to the police officers and stuff like the other attorneys did.
So it's too late to take the plea now that this has happened all over again. Like, as far as him getting a new lawyer, it's too late now for the plea.
That's what I was saying.
Off the
he
table?
Because
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's went and actually talked to him yet, which I really find strange, because if I hire an attorneys, I want to at least go in there and talk to him. And
this guy needs to just go ahead. If he would have took the plea when it was on the table last fall.
What did I say earlier?
Almost 70% of his time would have been served already.
Chat. What
this guy is ridiculous.
And he would have never been in jail.
Jeff, I said the same shit earlier, bro. When I was talking about you coming up here, I was like, where is Jeff? Because I said the same exact shit. I was like, dude, Reverend James, I was like, ain't this shit been going on for like 7 or 8 months?
It's been since last fall. Like, if he would have took the plea,
right.
Well, I think he had like 500 days to serve. So he would have had just about a little under 2 years. So he doesn't do anything but sit in the house.
Thank you.
He
goes nowhere. He goes nowhere.
Well, I mean, they give him like 90 days at house arrest, and then the rest of it was all just probation.
So, yeah, I think it was like 500 and something days of probation. Okay, so 90 days. So the 90 days, he would have been done before. Oh my God, man! This guy would have been done before Christmas last year.
Shit, I swear to God, I said
exactly
what I asked.
And Craig's right; he doesn't want the felony. Is the only reason.
That's too bad. He would have had. Look,
he's going to end up with it, and him thinking that he's just going to take it and if the jury finds him guilty, that he's going to file an appeal and never spend one day in jail. that's up to the sentencing judge to make that determination. The sentencing judge doesn't have to take it and put you out.
I love how stupid
Even look
he
at
is.
Jesse Smollett.
I love how
He spent a
stupid this
week
guy is.
in there before they let him out.
I was just lucky, man. Anywhere else on God's green earth, he would have been locked up.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what really bothers me though? So when he kidnapped that guy,
He said kidnap.
when he walked out the house, I don't care what the cops say. Well, the guy did never ask to press charges. You watched Tyra walk out the house with this man. Like, that's clear. You don't need any other sword in his hand. You don't need any other proof. They shouldn't need anybody, we need to get.
Well, he showed him the proof, what he did, and told him.
Right. No. He never showed him the video. He never showed. But what I'm saying is Tyra walked out the house with the guy with the sword to his back to the cops. That's
Like
clear.
the
Okay.
samurai.
And then they figured out, okay, you're not showing us any proof that he burned your car up. Okay, you walked out the house with this guy again. Like we're walking back through this. That's kidnapping. They even said it was kidnapping.
Yep.
Right.
And then they go and ask the guy, "Do you want to press charges?" He said no. Even then, I would have called my superior, somebody like, "Hey, we watched this guy walk out the house with this guy. That's kidnapping." Like,
right.
We rock like they didn't do any of that. They just walked away
and threatening the guy, and I even said it during the Greg's live stream. You can't negotiate and make promises to a guy when you got him held down waiting for the cops. You can't do that. That's not your job.
Unlawful imprisonment.
He threatened the shit out of that man. He threatened the fuck out of that man.
And he threatened him with a dangerous weapon.
Said he cut his hands off and all other kind of shit. Like,
this guy is amazing.
Hey,
like his life should be a movie. Like, seriously. It doesn't make it's incredible.
I ain't the toughest nigga in the world, but you're gonna have to like really, really be imposing to stop me with a sword. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know how you got that man with a sword. I don't know. Like,
because he's homeless.
I guess.
Yeah, he ain't got no weapons, man. And if you don't know how to fight, what else you gonna do? You gonna run?
Man,
if he catches you, he gonna stab you. You don't know what this guy's doing,
bruh. That was a whole crackhead. Crackheads can run, my nigga. Like,
but I mean, when you're out of it and you're scared, and then somebody randomly runs up on you with a sharp object, the length of
At first he was talking to him cool. He explained how he did it. He walked up on him like, "What the drugs at?" And the dude was all casual with him, and out of nowhere he just pulled the blade out, like, "Nigga, come here." Like, I don't know. I don't know how that worked, I don't know how that worked. Like,
Lady Steel.
There's no way you could have got
Lady Steel.
I'm not saying I would have fought him back, but I'd have ran. I mean, there's no way he would have had me in his house. But like, still,
like I said, you would probably do a lot of things if somebody had a blade to your neck or your back. It's different, and it's like I said, man. You can't look. I don't know. I wouldn't let anybody. I understand. I wouldn't let anybody run up on me with any blade, but
dude,
at the same time, the guy is already out of it.
You talking about like a blade or something? This man had a whole sword. Like, what the fuck?
Right. I mean, I know. I mean, it's still a blade. It's still a sharp object.
No, you're right. But where did he hide that at? Like,
I don't know. He might have had it against his side or behind him.
See what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like, how the fuck did he do that? Like, there's no way.
But I know some people, the way they carry blades, a good way to carry, especially a sword, a short sword, you put it behind your forearm. So you keep it in your hand and turn it backwards behind your arm. So that way it's up against your body. Nobody could tell. You could walk with your arms behind your side, by your sides, with the blade,
Depends on how long it is, but yeah, you're right, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think his blade's all that long.
Yeah, I think it's about a yardstick.
Neither is anything else.
Long.
I don't think
might be about half a yardstick.
I'd be more scared of somebody with a box cutter than somebody with a long ass fucking sword like that. Like, dude,
right? I'd be worried. I'd be more worried about it. I mean, depending on how they wield it. Swords, man. Like I say, they can get quite a distance on you.
Hey, Nikki.
Yeah, if you can't see it, exactly. If I can't see that shit and you just up on me like on some samurai, like samurai shampoo shit, yeah, I get what you're saying. But
remember, Tyra did this in the dark, so the guy couldn't see. The blade's already black, like a dark blue.
Yeah, it's a
so
blue
it's
and black.
already hard to see.
Bruh,
It's I don't know, man. That was just crazy. That should have been his. That should have been the end of him, but it wasn't. And there's gonna be many more crazy things that are gonna happen before, and he might not even get locked up. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they throw the case out. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they just randomly just say, you know what, case dismissed. I wouldn't even be surprised.
Jeff, that's what I was saying from the get-go though. Like, I ain't no tough guy or nothing, but I don't see how he caught the crackhead like with a sword. Like, I run like a gun. I can see you, like the dude that he pulled over, almost tried to kidnap the UPS driver, whoever he was. I can see that he had a gun then, but a sword, my nigga, I'm running. Like,
well, he's back to having a gun. He showed that revolver, so I'm very certain there's more guns in that house because you know how
I never thought he lost one. I never thought he lost one.
I didn't think he did either, but I didn't think he was crazy. Well, that's my fault. I should have known, but I didn't think he would show one on camera.
Yeah, actually, by law, he can have a gun because he's right. Even if you kill somebody until you're convicted, you can still possess a gun unless you're told by a judge not to.
Okay,
but
so go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish because I got a question for that.
But it's limited.
So, okay, I get that, and that makes sense. But why? Okay, then why take his guns away? If he's allowed to have weapons until he's convicted,
because at the time it disarmed everything that he had that was at the house. And
I understand, but okay, if we're going by law, I'm just trying to understand this. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. Maybe if anybody,
and I'm not either. It's just I'm trying to go through, but you know, and remember that state is a red flag state too.
So they say, because if that was the case, this guy would have been gone the moment, you know, a month after the law.
He's got the police department that's not acting on him, even with the complaints.
Which is crazy. Remember, so if this guy kills
from out of town,
I'm sure he's getting No, but see, here's the thing: when the red flag law, excuse me, went into effect. Remember those people that showed up to his house for the barbecue? He already threatened them with guns.
Yeah,
they did nothing still. So those people were in his state.
No, and I get it, but you got to look at it too. What kind of state does he live in? He actually lives in a gun-friendly state. So even though they have the red flag law, they really are not going to take and enforce it. It's there for people that are actually doing, I guess, a different kind of threatening or something. I don't
what
know.
Kind of different kind of threatening do you need to do?
I can tell you right now, if they was to do that in Oregon, oh my God, they would definitely come in here and try to.
I know my state, he would definitely, SLED would have took him out. But here's the thing, that's what I'm saying. So the laws in Indiana, well, just in the laws in his state are counterproductive. Like, I don't what are the point? They might as well just make it, you know, hey, this is the Wild Wild West. We're taking all the laws away. The police are here just to scrape the bodies off the ground. Like, that's it. Like, we're not here to do nothing. It blew my mind that this guy has dogs piled up in his house. And then I'm watching somebody on the news get arrested for what he's doing. And I'm like, I know people have been calling on this guy, but other people in his city are getting arrested for hoarding dogs. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, Tyra gets away with a lot of shit. There's no doubt about that. And
it's so crazy.
And I agree with you, Jeff. If it was anybody else, they would have done something.
Yeah.
And maybe not because, like, okay, with the guy that showed, that Tyra thinks that burned his car up, which is very possible because the guy was very filthy, like he walked out of a coal mine. They didn't try to investigate much. They were there trying to figure out what the hell happened, and then when they couldn't figure it out, they just said F it, and they just let both parties go.
Right.
And what if that guy is going around that block setting stuff on fire?
Well, it's like him. What was it, a week or 2 weeks later, taking and burned down somebody else's vehicle or house?
I think it was in a matter of I think it was less than a week, because I know what you're talking about. There was a van that was in a garage that was set on fire just a few blocks away. Well, about a block away.
And they're saying that it was him, but there
we go in the chat. There you go. He's in the chat. The arsonist is in the chat. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. I don't like any of y'all work too damn fast. But this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with Tyra's life really could be a production movie. Like, it's amazing. Nobody would believe this guy is able to get away with all this stuff. You would think that he's an informant. Now all the stuff that Jim has been saying for years that he's an informant, it makes sense, because how the hell can this guy get away with basically everything?
Some of the best days I had at work, Jeff, was start in the morning or whatever else with just fucking with Tyra. We'll do it no more though. Like, I used to do it. I'm like, nah, you got to stop it. Like,
oh man.
Hold on a second.
All right. Yeah, this is what we're dealing with, James. We're dealing with the stupidity of Tyra, and then we got him screaming it. I didn't hear the entire line. Like I said, I walked in. I think it was the last 25 minutes, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs about Armando. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, he did the typical Tyra thing where he put a video on or whatever. He was talking shit about somebody earlier, I forgot. And then he literally stopped going live and then went right back live to talk shit about Armando or whatever. He didn't even waste 30 seconds. He just literally went right back live. And he's been mad at the man all morning. So
he kept repeating himself that last 30 minutes. I don't know what the hell. Did y'all must have broke this man, because I haven't seen nothing about him in a minute. I had to take a break because the gun thing pissed me off. I was like, man, this is stupid. If this guy could walk around, go get another firearm, and now we know.
I didn't know about a gun. He got a gun again?
Yeah, he went he went and got a revolver, and it was a what was it, a 357 Magnum, I believe. And he's running around with that shit. And then, that's how it starts with Tyra. He can't have one thing. He has to get multiple of the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, yep, here it comes. Now he's going to start getting more guns, or he's going to start showing the other ones, man. And he just, again, come back and same bullshit. He's still screaming and hollering about Armando, and I imagine that what's his name? John is now in the mix of that shit too. So
yeah, mad at John too. Yeah, John. Same old.
That's what I like to see. When it comes to when TT's being nice and he's showing stuff, I don't care about that. I want him screaming and hollering down there about to have a stroke. That's what I want.
I know y'all are advanced trolls. See, y'all are the advanced level. See, I'm still kind of new. I'm not new. I'm medium level, but still y'all advanced.
I want the old fashioned Tyra. I want the Tyra that screams and hollering, stomping his feet, slamming the table. I need that.
I like seeing him making the fool
Tired
of
of hearing
himself
this
or
nice
whatever.
TT. Fuck that. I want to hear this. I want to hear him lose his fucking mind. Need him to hurry up and just. I need him to hurry up and 86 himself up out of here.
What 86 mean? I'll find out later. Tell me later.
Just I want him to dispatch himself out of here. I want him to leave.
Right.
I want him to leave from life. Tired of this guy. This guy is ridiculous, man. You know what? If he goes to jail, when he comes out, if he does, he gonna be the toughest man on planet Earth. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want this to happen.
He ain't gonna do nothing but more than 6 months. Like, you think that's a whole year? You think he gonna get like a year and a day or whatever, just a year in jail, like, for that shit?
If he does go in there, I can't imagine he'll spend more than 90 days because of, crowding. There's jails and prisons are short-staffed, so I imagine they're not gonna let him stay in there much longer.
I believe
90
he get
days.
his ass whooped within 90 days, but
Nah, I don't think he will.
Really?
He might with his mouth, but I think he'll stay quiet.
Yeah, see. Okay,
quiet.
I'll give you that. Yeah, because he gonna be a bitch. He gonna act like a bitch for real. They gonna make you. It's other things worse than just getting your ass whooped in jail. I'm just saying. Like,
some jails are soft, as far as what I hear. I don't know, and then some jails are just as bad as prisons. So it just depends on. I don't know about Indianapolis, so I imagine with him, he'll do his best to be quiet and out of the way, so he don't get roughed up.
Yeah, you said roughed up. You said right or
but I'm hoping that now. Okay, you don't know. I don't know. So did Darius get locked up?
Supposedly he got locked up around Thanksgiving, but I don't know if he was still in. I didn't follow that after what they said about it.
I was hoping that Darius would be in there with him.
Yeah, a lot of people said that.
Darius is scared too, so Darius ain't gonna fight his daddy, man. I still got respect for my daddy. And shut his ass up.
Right.
Yeah. And that's my thing too, is a motherfucker who never did shit for you. Like, I'm sorry, a troll can never.
I still have respect for my daddy, even though he be treating me like a bitch. Yup. Just stupid, just like your daddy.
I couldn't play football because he didn't
Couldn't play football because he wouldn't buy me the gear. Man, you're a sorry kid, man. But the sad thing about Darius's life is that Tyra was his father and his mom was a crackhead. Again, will make a wonderful feature-length film. Their lives really could be a freaking trilogy movie, or even longer than that. It could be long as, Fast and Furious 10.
Jeff,
you've heard of
the generational curse? It's a generational curse. Just keep repeating itself. Crackhead mama, crackhead mama.
It probably, no, I don't think, I don't really necessarily believe in curses. I just believe that, stupidity is just passed down. Like, you just learn from who you grew up with or whoever taught you.
Yeah, but he talks about his father being in his life.
That's not even his real father, though.
Look.
No, his real father.
You could look at Paul Edward Scott and tell that's not his father. You could absolutely. Now, when you look at Tyra and his mama, he's a spitting image of his mother.
Yeah, she a hyena.
That's true.
She looked just like a hyena. That's what he is.
Other than she's more gangster than he is.
Yeah. So he must have got the bitchness from his daddy. His daddy.
He grew up getting cursed out his whole life. I can tell just by the way he talks and the way he demeans people. She cursed him out every chance she got. Like, no matter what he did, he could have been eating. He could have been drinking water. He could have been like preparing his bath or whatever else, going to school. She cursed him the fuck out. That's where he gets that shit from. I know. I seen it. His mom is a mean bitch. I know a mean bitch when I see one, and that bitch.
Yeah, but okay, so he clearly. I mean, he gets the mood swings from his mom. That's very clear. Now, him being scared, that must be his father's trait, like not facing up to anything. He clearly gets that from his father.
Yeah, well, see, yeah, in that case, yeah, we wouldn't know because his father ain't around. But if you put it like that, then yeah, that makes sense. I mean, after dealing with Helen, Jeff, think about this: dealing with Helen, what man would really want to stick around, especially you got a pregnant?
I don't know who could sleep with Helen. Her hands look just like Tyra's hands. That's scary. It's freaking scary.
Well,
That's
I
zombie hands,
actually I
man.
think his mother's bigger than he is.
She taller, I think. I thought she was taller.
I don't know, man. They look
She's
about
skinny as
around the
hell.
same to me. I don't know. They look about around the same.
All I know is that she's tougher than Tyra because Tyra ain't bold enough to throw his own shit on people.
I'm gonna tell you this though.
Motherfucker.
With Tyra having no teeth in his, with Helen having no teeth in his mouth, and Tyra already doesn't take care of his teeth. We see where Tyra's mouth is headed. He's gonna be bald mouth if he's still alive, which he probably will be, because evil doesn't leave this earth, man. The most evil shit stays here. So Tyra gonna be here. I imagine Tyra probably will outlive me.
Damn, Jeff, you said some real ass shit. You say evil do not leave this
Outlive.
bitch. It stay here.
Nope.
That is true as a
Evil
motherfucker.
stays, man.
Yeah,
Most
you right.
evil people stay on this planet.
Yeah, they do.
They
not
do.
Motherfuckers like Tyra be 115 years old, can't see,
Oh.
can't talk, and hooked up to a machine somehow. It's still here.
Bruh, and they'll stay here to 90, 100, damn near 115 years old. Like,
don't be surprised, y'all, if Tyra lives to be 100. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised. Like, see, this motherfucker's still here. This motherfucker's still.
He gonna be mad.
Some of y'all
still
might have
doing YouTube.
grandchildren. This motherfucker still be here. Oh my God! Helen might live that long too. Helen might live into her 90s or 100 years old. She might live that long.
Yo, hold on, Jeff. You ever seen the Boondocks? I know you seen the Boondocks.
Yeah.
You ever seen the one where Ruckus? It was his dad and his grandma or whatever. The story of Uncle Ruckus.
I vaguely remember that. The only part I remember of the Uncle Ruckus story was his father being abusive to his mom. Like this, and then she just. I don't remember the whole story.
It was his mom. It was his dad being scared of his he hated his mother and shit like that. He could have waited till she died and shit. Like that's Tyra and his mom. Like
no, he loves his mama. He's just mad that she's kind of the reason why. Well, it's his fault solely, but the topic of his mother is the reason why he's in this predicament right now.
But no, the reason I told you is because she died or whatever else, and he literally died right after. He was talking all kinds of shit, and then, she had a eulogy.
And she read what she said, and this nigga literally died like 15 seconds after they read that shit. Like, that's gonna be Tyra, dog. That's gonna be Tyra. Well, I'm glad I got to see you die, bitch. Or whatever. Because dude, his mom, Uncle Ruckus' grandma, was talking so much shit to the dad to where it was like, you gotta see that shit. It was so fucked up. But you can really see, like, that's Tyra. Like,
Clem says that they need therapy. I don't think that therapy can help these people.
I feel bad.
Therapists would look at them and just start going, I'm sorry, there's just no way of helping you folks.
I feel bad for the therapy people. I don't think their job
Tyra is one of those that he has done it all in his head. Like, he has literally, he has reached to the top of the highest mountain on earth. He has swam to the depths of the ocean, like the deepest parts of the ocean. He has built, he has discovered, he has left the planet and came back. You can't tell him nothing. Like, he has done it all and
knows it all.
I mean, let him tell it. He used to say, I had $1 million. No, he said either it was $1 million or $1 billion in construction insurance. Like, he said, like, man.
$1 billion.
Yeah. But that when it comes to insurance and bonds and stuff like that, that doesn't really cost a whole lot of money, really.
It don't, because you're spending. I mean, $1 million in insurance, depending, I think, on how it's set up. It's probably maybe $1,000, $2,000 a month, depending on. I mean, when you're making that kind of money in construction, that doesn't faze you.
Right. Well, it's just a business expense.
Right. So you get to write that off.
I know that when I had my electrical contractor's license, I think mine for $500,000 in the 80s was a couple $100 a year.
See, yeah, he make let him tell it. Like I said, he was a millionaire. So because
Yeah,
I had
he's lying.
insurance that was in the millions of dollars, I was a millionaire. No, it doesn't make you a millionaire, man. You just as broke as everybody else. Shut up. Fucking ridiculous.
Right.
It's amazing though, man. Like, and then okay, so with the house, I don't mean to switch topics really fast, but I before I forget, I need to know about the house. Who's really in possession of it? So Wayne is. I know he's dead. I went and looked it up. He died not too long ago. But
In possession or owner?
who is the owner? Well, I mean, same thing. Who's the owner? Like who's in possession of the deed? Is
But what he said,
his daughter.
His daughter. Yeah. From what he
okay,
said,
Wayne's
his
daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
And she still hasn't put this man out. Like I don't. Yo,
Yeah.
what is?
See, that's my thing too. Is like, why hasn't nobody put him out? Because I'd have been put him out. Like,
I mean, put him out. Like I said, tore that house down to the studs and
Right.
rebuilt it. It's like there's no way I'm gonna let that's money. She's literally leaving money on the table, leaving him in that house.
do you think they don't really know about it or anything? Like they kind of forgot about it? Like it's just a lost asset or some kind of shit like that? Or
Well, I don't know how she would forget about it when she went and paid the taxes on it
oh, okay. See,
and
all right.
paid him up current.
She has to take him to court because that is a civil case. So they would
Right.
have to try and get Tyra. I mean, they have the deed, so all they have to do is go to court and
get him
the
evicted.
deed. Yep.
She's probably going to do it within the next 5 years. I mean, sooner than that. But
She got to do it way sooner. She's got to do it sooner than that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't know how
Because
that works,
he's now that if she has the deed, the squatter rights thing, it reversed. So now the clock is set back to 0. So the longer she waits, it's going to be more difficult for him to get out.
Yeah, it's going to be rough enough now, but him saying that she's going to have to take it and buy him out. No, she don't.
No, she has to, like I said, she
way.
got the deed. She could just show. All she has to do is show that judge the deed. It would. I imagine that would only
Right.
need, like, far as the hearings. I imagine I only need to take 1 or 2 days, and
Yeah.
that's all said and done.
Woo.
I just don't know why people are waiting. So that's the thing. Like I said, that state is weird. It's a weird place. Like it seems like you could get away with damn near anything there.
Right. Hey, diving. Yeah, it's really. You're right. The longer she leaves them in there, the worse it's going to be.
Yep.
If she don't do it within the next year, she's a fool. Or make some kind of deal where she can get money out of it.
Wish somebody would. Well, this one is
And
different, but any squatter, I would remove them personally. Like,
right.
Get the courts throwing you up. But Tyra's been in there a long time, so you have to do it the legal way. But say if I went on vacation, I came back after let's say like 3 weeks, and the motherfuckers in my house, I'm breaking through the window and I'm tossing you out. Like, there's no way I'm letting you stay in there.
Yeah.
Right.
No, hold on, Jeff. 3 weeks, that means I still got groceries in that bitch. Then you eating this fucking up my condition and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get the fuck up out of this bitch. I'm paying for
Well,
bills.
and the other thing that I wanted to bring up too, when it comes to doing something with that house, the best thing to do, because if you tear it down, then you have to take it and build everything back up differently because of the new laws and stuff that's in place. But what you can do is get a remodel, and I forget what kind it is, and you can take and actually tear it clear down, and then to the frames and everything, and redo it all, and then build it back up. And
yeah,
that
that's
way,
what I was saying. Yeah, I was saying.
Yeah, I do that.
I just, when it comes to rebuilding a house, especially in today's market, you're going to spend for that house, probably about around $115,000 to $120,000 rebuilding it. Personally, I mean, going through it
would be more than that, Jeff. even in that
what?
even in that place there, because wood has gotten so astronomical, you know, in different materials, that if it wasn't 200,000, it wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know
To
nothing
build the
about this
house,
shit.
I think it'd be less than that to build it. Now, I know okay, so even in today's market, I mean, I'm looking at the floor plan because this house is less than 800 square feet. I think it's about
Right.
just
Damn.
maybe, yes, it probably a little
It's
bit
like
over,
850
just
or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
probably
not
a
a
little
big
bit over
house.
8. So I imagine it would probably be about around 115, no more than 125,000 to build that house. If it was 1,000 square feet bigger, I would agree with you. I'm just going based off of material
That's
cost
small
and
too.
also labor, because it won't take them no more than 6 months to build a house that small. I imagine maybe 4 months, because where I live, they're building houses and they're 3 times the size of his, and they're building them in less than 5 months.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're right. You're probably right. I mean, depending on the area, whatever they're charging for materials, it might be that, it might not be. And I'm just speculating. But when it comes to, I think for me, if I was an investor, if it was my property, I had the deed to that house, I would just bulldoze it. I wouldn't even rebuild it. I would just sell it at land cost. Just tear the house down, which wouldn't cost much, and just rebuild the. I would just leave it I would just leave it as a hole in the ground. Remove all the concrete out the basement and sell it as a hole in the ground. Like, hey, you could build fresh on this. You just got to build your own house.
He's gonna move right back in that hole. He ain't gonna have nowhere to go. He gonna go right back in that hole with Donna.
He gonna go to the house. No, but I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. If he does get thrown out anytime soon, if that house 2 houses down hasn't sold yet, he's gonna move into that house on the corner. And that's probably why he's been putting all his crap around that house. And that's probably a reason why it hasn't sold, because it's got all that crap. It's got the burned out car back there. It's got the dually. It's got all that pallet crap back there. That's probably why it hasn't sold.
I don't understand how you can put your shit with somebody else's stuff and just go to sleep that night. Like, I couldn't do that.
Well, and that's the other thing. He's got so much shit. He's putting it down at the neighbor's house.
Yeah, I could do that shit, dude. Like, there's no way. I'd be paranoid as fuck.
And then you're restoring a car that's supposedly worth what, 50 grand, and
No, it's
you're
not worth
putting
that.
it
It's
down
Yeah,
out
that
of
car
the
wasn't worth that
garage.
much. That car was fuck. Oh, the other car. I thought you were talking about the car that got burnt up. That car wasn't worth what the fuck he said it was. Like,
Well,
No.
when he gets done with it, it'd probably be worth that. But
He'll never be able to rebuild that, James. You know it. You
That
know that's
burned-
gonna be a
agree.
hollow shell in his garage forever.
that burnt up car
Right.
is over.
I mean,
that car
you
is
can't
dead.
have a fire that intensive
No.
and not affect the structure of the
Of the metal. Yeah, the sheet
sheet
metal is
metal
warped.
and the frame.
James,
And
that
don't forget all the plastic. He's got to try and get all the plastic that melted in that car out of the car.
James, that car was sacrificed. It was sacrificed Mayan style. Like, that bitch gone. Ain't
I
nothing to
found
do
a
with
deuce and a quarter. I found a deuce and a quarter that was just like the one that burned up that he had, fully restored, value at $25,000. You can get you a fully restored rotisserie car. So when a rotisserie, when you hear rotisserie, James probably knows it was stripped off the frame. It was put on imagine like a piece, like some chicken put on a skewer and rotated. They rebuilt that car all the way around. So it was painted underneath, everything, frame redone, $25,000.
Right.
Now he probably did put 30. Well, he claims about 30 to 25,000, but he can go get him a fully restored car for 25,000. And I know, and what I imagine with his friend or his customer, he probably just said F it and just said F it all together. Because you don't hear, as far as I know, you didn't hear nothing about it. Nothing about that car. Nothing.
It was a loss. It's a loss.
Yep. It sat in his possession for years.
Thank you.
And not have insurance on it, I mean, Tyra not have insurance on it. You know,
the guy should have had insurance. His friend should have.
Insurance on it would have covered it.
His friend
Had
should
it
have had
been in his
insurance on it.
driveway.
His friend should have had insurance on it because that would have covered it.
Well, there's
But that's
nobody that
clear
lives
that
in
they.
that house.
No,
Well,
I'm talking about
that
his
part.
friend. The guy that actually owns the car. He should have had insurance on it at the
but
It's
minimum.
not. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, yeah, but he would just have regular auto insurance on it.
Yeah, but it would
But
cover
if
the
you're having
fire.
somebody redo it and stuff, why keep paying insurance on it when you don't have to?
Ain't you supposed to have a certain kind of insurance for them old school like shits anyway?
No, you
Well,
could
you
you could
can.
put any type of insurance on it.
Oh,
You
okay.
could put any type of insurance on a car. The classic cars you can get you like Haggerty
Right,
has a they have special classic car insurance
That's
because
what I
some
right,
was
insurance
thinking. Yeah.
companies will give you a very, very low appraisal, and Haggerty will give you like they go based on the value of the vehicle. Like like classic cars are valued different than normal cars,
Yeah. That's what I
state
was
and
thinking. Yeah.
privately.
That's what I
right.
heard
Like
about that shit
I have a
before.
classic car in the garage right now,
Nigga, your name
and
is Jeff
let the
Hemming. We know this. Your name is Jeff Hemming. Like,
let the state tell it. Let the state tell it because every time I pay the taxes on that car, the state says that car is worth $25.
you gotta
Like
pay
not even
taxes
kidding
for
you.
your shit.
And that's
Yeah,
a good thing.
Damn.
Let him
yeah,
say
that's
that.
good. Yeah, that is good. Well, yeah, because in some states, in order to put tags on the back of your car, you got to pay the taxes on it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so like all vehicles here, like my truck, it's $600 a year for the taxes on my truck,
Damn.
and then yeah, so and the older car looks better than the new one.
Yeah, because I know in Oregon, mine. I just renewed the tags on my van for 2 years. It was $134.
Oh, that's
See, they
not
need
bad.
to do that for my state. We can only renew it once a year, and I know Florida, you can renew your tags for 2 years. Now I
Yeah,
know now that I know from James, Oregon does the same thing.
we do
Some
our shit
states
on we do our shit online. Like we don't even give a fuck. They have to send us something in the mail or give
they
us
need
like an
to.
email.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I did mine online too,
you
but
see? Like, yeah, I don't even care about that shit. Like it's nothing to us.
I live in a country ass town, so they ain't gonna do nothing online.
That's fucked up. My
Everything.
homeboy was telling me about the shit you were saying, Jeff,
but
about having to
if
pay
I
yearly
was to
car
live in
car
Portland,
thing, tax or car tax.
yeah, but if I was to live in Portland, then I would have to take it and pass smog. But being that I don't live in Portland, I don't have to take it and go in there and do that bullshit.
So I haven't never done an inspection before because I chose not to live in states that do inspections. So do they hook something to your tailpipe and do it, or they just hook it? They
Yep,
hook a computer to your
they do both.
car.
They do
Oh
both.
wow,
It hooks into your computer and it hooks into your tailpipe.
ain't that something?
For what I see,
Because
they
mine
always
actually
use the
last
computer.
when I was living in Portland, I had to get it registered up there. It still costs the same amount of money, other than you have to have it smog tested.
That's some weight. To me, that's stupid. Like
Well, I agree.
it's stupid, especially when the car. Like okay, in some states, I've read that depending on how old the car is, if the car is like 25 years old, or sometimes I think it's even if it's 15 years old, you don't, or you don't have to do the smog testing. And I'm like, well, that's stupid. Those cars are typically going to pollute more than the new ones. I believe any car that is especially now, let's say 2010 to now, shouldn't be smog tested. It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah,
even 2008, because most cars, even from the 90s, have catalytic converters.
right. But you take like a state like California, they don't care.
Yep,
And
sure
it doesn't
don't.
matter what city you live in California, you have to have all vehicles smog. It's a
I
running
see why
racket when it comes to that, to be, in my
it,
opinion, too.
it explains why a lot of people over there have gone to battery powered cars, because most of the cars on the road right now in California are electric. Most of them. So
I don't know. I don't go into California like I used to, so I couldn't tell you.
well, I mean, I know I've watched videos, so I know a lot of cars on the road are battery. My question is, well, not even my question. It's just that there's not our power grid can't sustain, all
Right.
these battery cars.
Nope.
We're
They
still
can't.
running. Our power grid is still 1800s technology. I mean, well, not it's about 1800s technology. It hasn't changed. Like
That's
we're
what they
still.
were saying.
And
That was they were
that's the
saying from the
problem with
beginning.
California's always had. They had a power issue before they wanted to require electric cars, and now that they are starting to really push electric cars. In fact, I think by the year 2030, all vehicles in California are required to be electric. There's
That's hilarious.
their
That's a
power
scam.
grid cannot
That's a scam.
cannot sustain it.
Dude, that's what they were saying from the beginning. It was like, well,
I mean,
but how
have
you gonna keep it
rolling
all up?
brownouts and stuff in LA and San Francisco and stuff like that.
That's
So
that's a shame. That's a damn shame.
and they've had that since the 80s.
Yep.
That's why I am not buying a battery powered car. Because it's just, even for me, I live out in a rural area, so for me, there's nowhere to charge the car. And the closest major city for me is almost, I think it's about around 70 miles away. So why the hell would I buy an electric car if there's nowhere to charge it?
How long is that from?
Other than your house.
Huh? 70 miles here from here? No, that's it's about 45 minutes. It's almost an hour.
Yeah.
And that's even with traffic, it's 45 minutes. Because it's just like where I'm at, it's just straight freeway. So that I don't have to worry about stoplights or any of that other stuff. But
Jeff got a house full of guns, yo. Jeff strapped up. Ain't no way
Right.
motherfucker staying in the middle of nowhere. He ain't got no gun. Jeff strapped up.
No, I don't have to worry about nothing. I shouldn't have to have guns. I don't have nothing to worry about. That's why I got away from the city.
Really? In the middle?
Well, I don't know. When I lived out in the country, I had more problems because I always had people sneaking in there, taking and stealing diesel and gas.
Yeah, see, I be thinking you have to, not just people, but I be thinking of like.
I'm not saying that everywhere is different, but where I'm at, I don't have any of those issues.
Yeah.
I don't have any of those issues. So I'm not saying I don't have any firearms, but I don't have to
Nigga, we know you
worry about all that craziness.
We know you
I don't have to worry about any of that craziness.
Even if you say you're not, we know you strapped. We know you strapped.
But it's I don't know, man. The way things are going, it ain't looking too good. I'm hoping for the best, but I don't know, man. It just seems like the world's fucked at this point. Like, far as the economy, global issues, it's all just going down the drain. And it's crazy that we got, the election, which is crazy. It's amazing how fast 4 years go, man. And they got this election, and we ain't got much of the candidates that we have to choose from so far. Man, you might have. I mean, everybody's different. You vote if you want, but it don't seem like there's no point of voting because all the choices look bad. All the choices.
Florida, baby. Welcome to Florida. DeSantis gonna win this shit. Fuck him.
You got DeSantis. No, you got Trumpers too that are still believing that. He's got a huge fan base.
If Trump can get in and let Trump do it,
Trump still got and we don't know what his future is holding. If he's going to get in trouble for that indictment, his indictment, is he going to get in trouble? I don't know, man.
The only thing that I'm going to say when it comes to voting, I don't care about the federal elections. What I care about is the state.
Right.
Because the state has more effect on you than the federal government does.
They're the ones you're supposed to care about. the circuit.
That's
You're
very
supposed
true.
to care about the circuit.
Right.
But even with the state and the local municipalities, those choices are not that great either. Like,
Yeah.
with my area, it's not so bad, but those like if I go one state over to me, which I'm right on the border, the like this, they're like who they elect for their governor and also their just the cabinet or whoever, and you have the congressman over there, even the congressman in my state are just, it's bad choices, and those are people that you elect directly, and it's
Right.
still bad.
Well, look at Oregon. I mean, we have a Kotex for a governor now.
Yeah.
Should I say more?
No.
Damn.
I think at this point,
And
I
that
know it
was a
sounds
really
crazy.
close race, too, to be honest, against
I
the
think that-
Republican nominee.
I'll be right back,
And-
y'all. I got a call real quick. Let me.
All right.
I'll right back.
Classic.
All right, yeah.
I think that I think this is a good way for AI to step in and take over government. I know that sounds crazy, but the choices like I said, man, I believe if a computer ran the country the way, it would run it efficiently, we wouldn't have to worry about bickering and arguing. It would only go on logic. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not saying hook it to anything important. Like, I think hooking it to our defense is stupid. Now, hooking it to our government and letting our government run by a computer would be way more efficient, because it would only go based on, okay, we need to save money. I'm sure it would figure out how to cut the debt by 100% if we put in, AI in charge of it.
Well, the only thing about Trump that everybody usually seems to forget is that they elected a businessman, and he was doing business. I mean, he stood up against China, and the very minute that Biden got in there, Biden goes, "Oh no, we can't do that." And whatever Trump had in there just went away that same day. And because Trump actually had him on the wall to where they were going to have to make concessions. And he's the closest one that's ever done that. He's also the only one that's ever went to the Korean border and walked on it.
That's true. The only active president, because I think Carter went over there, but he wasn't active.
Right.
I think Carter was the only one that
Carter didn't go. Yeah, but Carter never went on the wall.
That's true. But he did go overseas, but he never went on the wall. Yeah, he did meet. I think he met with Kim Jong Un's father. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he met with him, but it wasn't in their country, as far as we know. But yeah, Trump was the only one active president that went over there. I will say though, like, the moment, you're right, the moment that Trump, was out of office, it went. But Biden also did things day one that screwed a lot of shit up, like cutting off the Enbridge pipeline.
Right.
And that was stupid. Shutting down all oil production in the United States, which was very stupid.
Right.
Also, what else did he do?
Trump was setting it up to be just American. He was bringing back companies back to America. And
the only thing I wish he would have
got in there, they all ran off.
The only thing I wish Trump would have did was just shut up, get off the internet, just do everything,
I'm not going to argue.
Do what you need to do,
or even discuss
on the
that
internet
with you, because I agree with you on that, Jeff.
That's retarded. I don't like him because you could tell he's an asshole. Like anybody can see that.
Yeah.
But as a leader and as a businessman, he was the right guy for the job. But his mouth is what ruined everything, and what made everybody. Everybody. That's what grew.
And had he not made enemies with the news organization. Of course, that's also what
that's what he wanted. That was very clear. That's what he wanted the news to hate him. Fake news. Like, what kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that, man?
Yeah, absolutely. So
I think we have moved. I think we need to move past, because something else has got to come through. Like, this Republican and Democrat crap, this needs to stop. That is one of the main, like, the country is more divided than it ever has been in 80 years. Like, nobody can agree on nothing anymore. And there's pushback, and then you have, certain, I guess people like to use politically correct, terms, like, people that are, what's the word? The protected class. You have protected class people that are pushed to the front, and they're not the norm. So obviously that's going to be pushback. I'm not saying that, certain groups shouldn't exist, but
yeah, but you're, and the problem with that is, Jeff, is that he who screams the loudest gets what they want.
That's true.
And I agree with you. You're taking less than 1% of the population and putting their needs ahead of everybody else's, and their wants ahead of everybody else's.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the logical thing that should be done is everything needs to be done for humans by, for the benefit of humanity, not because you're favoring a particular group. That's stupid. They need.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I believe the country being run by computers. I know I keep saying it, and I know people are going to disagree with it. I'm not saying put it in charge of anything as far as our weapons, our military. No. Our government has proven they are incapable of getting anything done because they can't. Like, I'll give you an example. Infrastructure. They've been screaming that since the 70s, and we have gone nowhere. Yep, both sides, and we have gone nowhere.
Right.
The only thing that they were able to accomplish every single time since the Great Depression was raise taxes. That's the only thing that they were able to accomplish. And it still has done nothing because we're in, I think, what, $33 trillion in debt?
Yep. And growing.
That's more money our debt is larger than what all the income combined on Earth could pay for.
Right.
So there's no way that that's getting paid. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. There's no trillionaires on Earth at this point right now. And even if you combined all the money on Earth, it wouldn't pay that $33 trillion in debt. So that's what I'm saying is, like, we have hit I think when it comes to government, that we have hit an impasse, and it has to change. Like, it's clear that we need a different type of governing body, not any.
And that's where a civil war comes in. I hate to say it, but
that's true. But I don't think anybody.
I
don't think that we're strong enough to do that. We're not strong enough to do that. We're not strong.
No, not anymore.
We can do it. We could do it on small increments. Like, okay, I give you the riots of when when George Floyd and Tamir Rice was murdered.
Right.
Those were in a way, it wasn't a war. Well, it was a war on the police, but the police didn't fight back. So it was just civilians tearing up, individual cities, and then you had the riots on the Capitol. We're not coordinated enough as Americans to even get together to do anything like that. So
there's no clear leader in it.
Right. So I believe that it's possible, but I don't think would never, and I could be wrong. I don't think we'll ever see that in our lifetime.
I don't think that we'll ever see and I agree with you, Jeff. It would take something extremely disastrous for it to happen.
It would take something like, let's say, Mexico decides to take back Texas by force. It would take something like that. It would take Russia. They're saying, oh, Russia's coming over here by boat and they don't care what happens. It would take something like that. But you would have the majority of the masses running away. So I don't know, man. I didn't mean for us to stray away from Tyra.
No. That's why it was kind of an open panel,
Okay.
you know, and no, anything that anybody wanted to talk about, you're more than welcome to do it.
Okay, awesome. But
So,
and Will writes in chat until the AI decides to kill all humans. Well, you know,
well, I mean, I was thinking about Terminator when you was talking about that.
oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it that's also a possibility. That's why I said don't hook it to anything important. Like if we hook it to our missile defense system, let's say
Oh yeah, it's more
something
than proven that it would
it would attack.
absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah,
and it would only attack based on logic. So if it did find us a threat, would it launch our own missiles at ourselves, or it would go? You never know. A computer might say, "Hey, we calculate Russia is going to attack the United States in the next 5 years, so we're going to attack first now." And it'd
right.
be like, "Holy shit! Like, how would we know this?" But a computer would only go based on information that it's given, and if it
And
finds
the
something,
projections that it would extrapolate.
yep.
There's
I
a big
I watched
word.
I forgot what, yeah, extrapolate. The I was watching something. It was there's a college that does war games, and that's all they do. Like they're really
Yeah,
good at predicting war games. I forgot what college it is, but um, I was watching a video where they were talking about this exact thing I was talking about. Like if they hooked AI to our missile defense system, no or NORAD or anything, would it tell us something that we would find unbelievable, like, hey, Russia is going to attack tomorrow, and we have no information on that, but based on its analysis and calculations, hey, it's going to do it. Will we trust it? I don't know. It was interesting to hear that perspective. Like,
yeah,
holy crap. So
right.
I don't know, man. AI is I think it's a great tool for the future, but it's going to be used for the bad. That's the majority of what's going to happen to it. It's going to be used for evil.
Well, and that's just what happens with technology or anything. It always gets used for bad.
Yeah.
It's always been
Yeah.
that way.
But
It will always
looking.
be that way.
That's true. Now I was exploring this AI thing, right? But I was looking at it in a way of trolling, because I'm seeing people using it to call, because this thing is able to clone voices depending on what type of AI software you have available, like that you have downloaded. So they
Yeah.
have some that clone voices. And I was like, holy crap. What if somebody used this to clone, Donna's voice and used it to call Tyra? Would he believe it? Because they had no, but here's the thing. All they needed was an audio sample that was like 30 seconds long. It didn't even matter what they said. It was able
No,
to clone the voice.
right. No, I get what you're saying. It would be, well, Tyra's so easy to fool anyway.
Yeah. Would he believe that it's, but see, somebody would have to use it on him when he's not home, because he's not gonna believe it if Donna's calling him while he's at home. Or use
That's
it,
true.
like, try to get Darius's voice and get Darius to call Tyra, like, hey, daddy. You get him to talk jiggy to Tyra.
Right.
Oh my Lord, man! Here go my mind, man. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not. But I did explore it though. I have a couple of AI apps that I've been
Yeah.
exploring, and it's very, very, very interesting how it operates. Like, it can do a lot of things when you input certain, small bits of information.
Yeah.
But as far as anything else, man, I ain't got much else.
Yeah. It's been almost 2 hours, Jeff.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shut it down.
Sounds
here.
good. All right.
So
Well,
I
good talking to
appreciate you
again,
guys
man.
coming up. It's always great talking to you.
Yeah. Did Greg ever do a show like a Friday or Saturday night show?
He hasn't done one for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I've been looking forward to one of those. So that's all right.
Yeah,
I was just
I
making
have
sure I
been
didn't miss
too.
nothing.
Yeah. So,
All right, James. Well, you have a good one. Everybody in the chat, y'all have a good day.
Jeff. All righty. And as always, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and as always, thanks for the comments. I will catch you on the next one. This is L8N signing out.